and welcome to Call Me When They Kiss. I'm Sydney.
I'm Issa, and if this is your first time tuning in, every Friday, Sydney and I discuss a different romance movie or sometimes a romance series. And once a month, we also discuss a romance book. Today, we are discussing Far and Away, which stars Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. And our book of the month is Vision in White by Nora Roberts, which neither of us have started yet. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But you have like 2 more weeks still. That's plenty of time.
Okay, well, I'm actually overwhelmed with things I want to talk about. I'm always
Oh, wow.
overwhelmed with things I want to talk about with Sydney.
Just stuff in general,
Yeah.
not like the movie specifically.
Oh, Far and Away?
Yeah.
No, not the movie specifically, but I am really excited to hear your thoughts on it because this was one that I had already seen before, but Sydney had never seen before.
Oh, I didn't realize you already saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually not a huge Tom Cruise fan, and so I don't really like intentionally go back and like watch movies that I missed with him in it. But one thing that surprised me about this one though is I actually did think he was cute in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like a Tom Cruise hater, like a hater through and through. And I'm like, he's ugly. I actually have a video on my TikTok from like 3 years ago. It's me and Rachel, and we were talking about Top Gun and how I thought Tom Cruise was so ugly, how he had a middle tooth. I was really hating on him. And then like
middle
he
tooth?
yeah, like one
No,
of
I
his
know what
big
you're talking
tooth-
about. I just have never heard it called
Yeah.
that.
He has one singular middle tooth. But something about this movie, like literally the first scene with him in it, I was like, oh, he looks kind of pretty.
Yeah.
So
This is honestly one of the only Tom Cruise movies I've ever seen, period. I haven't
I've
even
seen-
seen... Go ahead.
Have you seen Top Gun?
No, I've only seen the new one.
Oh, okay. I watched the old one after I watched the new one because I did like the new one.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like the series that I started, like, is it really good or is it just nostalgic? I need people from like that era to go back and rewatch these movies and be honest with themselves because I thought it was kind of boring. I didn't think it was that great. I don't know. But it's like such an iconic classic for like people our parents' age, you know? So I'm like, maybe I'm just like missing something, but it wasn't worth like going back and watching for me.
Well, this movie, Far and Away, it actually has pretty bad reviews.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going to like surprise me with the scores, but I did see that the critic score was like 51%, right?
Yeah.
What was the audience score?
62%. This was a movie that we had like the DVD of it. I guess my mom liked it because she showed it to me. So that's like how I've seen it.
Yeah. I think she commented that she liked Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I know Sydney has more to say about Tom Cruise, but before we get too far into Far and Away, or should we save it for the end?
Nah, let's just talk about it.
Okay.
I'm sure that like fans of our podcast are probably more interested in what we're about to say about this than Far and Away, so it's okay. Let's do it.
Yeah, we want to talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, you guys. And I'm really annoyed because I watched season 4. I watched it all in one day while I was working. I always feel like I have to explain that because like I told one of my friends I finished season 4 and they were like, wow, that was so fast. It made it seem like I sat around for 10 hours and watched.
You were multitasking.
I was multitasking, okay? I'm really annoyed. I'm feeling personally offended by this Taylor Frankie Paul drama because I've been rooting for Taylor Frankie Paul and I was really excited to talk about season 4 and now she's just ruining everything. She's ruining Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, she's ruining The Bachelorette, and she's ruining her life. And to be honest, I don't even want to talk too much about all of the accusations that are going around because by the time this episode comes out, who knows?
There's probably going to be more clarity.
Yeah, there's like live updates. Like every time I get on TikTok, there's a new update. And I know tomorrow she's going on Good Morning America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
like that was pre-scheduled before all this started coming out?
For like Bachelorette promo.
Wow.
And like the accusations are extremely, extremely serious. And while I'm on this rant, before all of this came out, just when I finished season 4, I'm really frustrated with production and Taylor. I mean, it's on her and Dakota. But like I'm really mad that they keep Dakota on as a cast member. It's so irresponsible. It's not good for either of them. And we don't like him. Like, get him off my TV screen. Were you going to say something?
Well, I just saw like something on Threads that was it's kind of along the lines of what you're saying. She was basically talking about how big personalities and vulnerability is like essential for like good reality TV, and that Taylor Frankie Paul, like, of course, like has that reality TV something, you know, like she has it. But with everything that's been going on, like including Dakota and like preying on her like basically like exploiting that toxic relationship and using it for their gain. They worded it really well, I feel like. They said that like from the beginning this was equivalent of reality TV malpractice. I was like, okay, yeah, like because it's like, yeah, we get it. This makes good reality TV, but there's a point where like it crosses the line.
Yeah.
And it's no longer like really fun anymore. Like it's not fun to see them purposely kind of like egg it on, like you said, like keep him in the cast and like put them in these like vulnerable, toxic things for the sake of like our entertainment. To me, it kind of feels like Hunger Game-ish. Of like us watching in real time, like them like actively destroying each other's lives. You know, it's like not really fun to watch that, I feel like. Does that make sense?
Well, and even if they fired him though, like he's purposely like doing things, and again, she has responsibility in this as well, but like he is purposely doing things to like stay in her immediate circle. Obviously they have a kid together, so they're never going to be able to go like no contact. But like he
That's
only
really
hooks up he only hooks up with people that she knows, like friends of hers and stuff like that. And another thing I was going to say, I agree about the reality TV malpractice, but on a lighter note too, one of the worst reality TV sins is repeating a storyline one too many times. And so even like before all these allegations came out, people were like turning on Taylor for season 4 because this is like the 4th season with the Dakota storyline. So it's like even before all the horrible, terrible things were happening and, you know, all this news broke, everyone was already mad.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we've had enough of this. So, and it's just crazy, like, when it rains, it pours, I guess, because people were already turning on her. Like, for the most part, the audience of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has been rooting for her, including myself. But, yeah, like, then they were already upset about season 4, and then all this news came out, and now everybody's, like, so mad, and rightfully so, if, like, all of this stuff is true.
No, yeah, that's so valid. And if you don't know, well, Issa doesn't live in Utah anymore, but she used to, and I currently still do, live in Utah. So we're right in like the epicenter of this. But somebody was saying like how obviously with what happened with the original like swinging scandal and craziness and her ex-husband and divorce, I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, I don't know him. Obviously they've got their issues as well since they got divorced. But people are like even giving him credit because they're like, you know, he may be this or that, but he's not fame hungry because he's not using Taylor for any clout or like he's just stayed out of the spotlight. He's not like trying to get his in on the show or whatever.
Right.
Like Chase being Miranda's ex-husband, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Miranda?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see like the difference between like him and Dakota. Like obviously she didn't have a great relationship with that guy either, but it's not this toxic back and forth, I'm using you and I want to stay in, like it's just like it just seems so different with Dakota, like you said about using the friends. And
like thinking about Dakota just like genuinely makes my blood boil. Like I wasn't even like that invested in Secret Lives like when season 3 came out, but for some reason like the past week, like, I'm, like, so parasocially upset about this.
Okay, and I will confess, I've actually not watched this. So everything, like, my take on them is purely off of the hundreds of TikToks that I've watched about. Because I have consumed a lot of content about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but I just haven't actually sat down and watched it. And one of the biggest reasons why is because everything I've heard about this situation, even from season 1, just feels sad to me. It's like hard for me to like get on board and be entertained because so many of these quote storylines, which is like these people's real lives, does make me sad. And I do feel like some people have talked about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they've talked about how it's like, actually, maybe you're the one that was telling me this, how it's kind of shifted a lot of like how reality TV is done because they're very openly discussing like on the show, like their contracts, their pay, like things like that. It's like sort of breaking
it's very
the
meta.
Fourth wall on. Yeah. I know, like most reality TV I struggle with because I'm like, oh, I know this is fake. I know this is fake. And it's hard for me to get past that. This I struggle with because like it actually doesn't feel fake enough. It feels like, I mean, I know that some of the people are probably calculative, you know, like in trying to get there. Yeah. But like these struggles between Taylor and Dakota is like, they're real. It's not like they're faking it to get more views or whatever. Like clearly this is like real toxic. And even stuff with like Jessie and like all of her plastic surgery, like I see a lot of her videos and like how she's got all this work done, and like she just posted a video about how she like hates how she looks now. Like she looks in the mirror and she like hates it and like doesn't recognize herself. And like I know that's real, you know, like her self-esteem issues are real, you know, obviously, because she's doing all of this. And so it's like hard because I'm seeing so much about these girls' lives and it doesn't feel like fake produced fun anymore. It just feels like, wow, besides Whitney, feels like a lot of these girls are struggling, you know? Layla has an eating disorder. Jessie can't stop getting work done. Taylor is in a toxic relationship. Jen is self-sabotaging because she doesn't feel like she's reaching her potential and people are stealing dreams from her, you know?
She doesn't have a supportive husband.
Yeah, it's like, this is just sad. And the only one that maybe is fine is maybe Miranda. I don't know what, she's the one I know least about, but yeah, it actually like makes me want to tear up. I'm like, these girls just need help.
No, it's really sad. It got, well, and I think they meant for it started with the swinging scandal, right?
Yeah.
So it's like so scandalous and sexy. But no, it got really dark really fast. And I saw a TikTok about that today about how like, well, especially now with all this stuff about Taylor, Frankie, Paul, but like they were speculating that the show isn't going to last much longer. And that's probably partly why they put out 2 seasons every year. Like they've been pumping these seasons out fast because
maximize it as quick as they can.
They knew it was going to burn fast and bright, which is interesting because like, technically, the format is somewhat similar to like Real Housewives, and those franchises go on for years and years and years. But yeah, it's just extremely dark. And also, like, I think even the fact, I do think it's been so innovative and so impactful to reality TV in general. But going back to what you were saying about how the show's very meta and like part of the storyline is the fact that they're on a reality TV show, I think maybe that could contribute to the longevity as well, because if the main storyline is being on the reality TV show, well, then they're going to seek other opportunities elsewhere. You know, they're all going to move on to other stuff. Like Whitney and Jen have already started to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
No, that's a good point.
It was brief and it was beautiful. It's already, we might be seeing the downfall already.
I think there's maybe 2 things that they underestimate. Well, one, I was going to say 2 things, but I can't remember the second. So one thing, I think that they didn't take into consideration, like the depth, like how do I word this?
Take your time.
They didn't take into consideration how deep and damaging Utah culture can be.
Yeah.
I think, like, from the surface, what you were saying about the swinging scandal and all that, it's like, this is crazy, and this might be, like, a sexy glamour show, whatever. And these are all, like, beautiful women. So I think, like, on the surface level, it was like, oh, this will be really entertaining. Which, I mean, it still is entertaining. But, like, I didn't grow up in Utah, so, I don't know. Utahns can correct me if I'm wrong. But like we're like all these like deeper issues that we've talked about, like it's something that I feel like is obviously not unique just to Utah, but is magnified in the culture of Utah, like especially like the appearance related things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's a lot of like deeply rooted issues that go beyond this like entertaining surface level that maybe they underestimated. But I did see that there are rumors about like spin-offs in like LA. I guess some producers or whatever just like followed a bunch of Mormon influencers in California. And I could see that like how they could potentially keep this going without like burning out cast.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true.
Like instead of that's what I was gonna say. The second thing about Real Housewives. Real Housewives of Salt Lake, they're like older women, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the other thing that maybe they didn't take into consideration is like, these are young women. Like some of them way younger than I was even expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also the things I'm talking about, like these deeper rooted issues is partly because they are so young still. They have not been able to like make it out of their 20s yet. Versus the Real Housewives of Salt Lake, they're maybe just a little bit, I mean, they're obviously still like crazy reality TV stars, but like they're a little bit more rooted maybe in their like sense of self versus like these 20-year-olds that are still going through like a second puberty basically and still just like trying to figure out life. A lot of them like are living their lives for the first time like outside of, because not all of them are, I mean, I'd say most of them aren't like practicing Mormons, right?
No.
So like they're trying to like rediscover. It's just like I feel like a very hard time in their life for this too. But I do think that if they change this up and go to different cities, so not like Real Housewives where like they can have continuous seasons in each season, this would have to, continuous seasons in each city. This would have to be like one show, but maybe every 4 or 5 seasons they switch cities.
They go
you
to
know?
a different,
Yeah. So
no, that's true. I forgot about the spin-offs.
Do you think they're gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think it's pretty much confirmed, isn't it?
I guess I
don't know.
haven't read
I'll
into
have
it
to
that
go
much.
find the articles again. Should we finally move on to Far and Away? Do you want to talk about Tom Cruise?
Okay. Tom Cruise, you guys.
We've got the #1 Tom Cruise hater. Hey, maybe we should post this because remember when we went semi-viral for hating The Rock?
Hate on The Rock. There's a few male celebrities that I just really have beef with.
Mhm.
The Rock is one of them. Tom Cruise is one of them. Maybe it's just them two, honestly. I don't know. Like, literally from the beginning, I've hated Tom Cruise. But yeah, I did learn some crazy things about him, okay? I'm actually kind of surprised that he has, like, a lot of, like, 3 Golden Globes, an honorary Academy Award. Like,
An honorary Academy Award?
Apparently. I don't even know what that means. It's a special award. Yeah, it's just like, it's like celebrating motion picture achievements that are not covered by existing Academy Awards. So it's like you're not nominated for a specific like movie, but it's just like they want to recognize you.
That's kind of embarrassing for him.
I know. He
doesn't have a real Oscar.
Yeah. He's had 4 nominations.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, it's kind of funny because I never saw him as that kind of star. Like, I've seen him as like an action.
A serious actor?
Yeah. Is he like,
really?
Did you consider him a serious actor?
I mean, yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm only like I'm more familiar with his more recent work, which to be honest is only Mission Impossible and like Top Gun Maverick. And I'm like, I just thought he was like The Rock in action movies, like Jack Reacher. I don't know, like I didn't. Maybe I need to go back and watch his stuff.
Okay, as I'm looking at his list of movies, yeah, why do people take him so seriously? I feel like our parents' generation take him really seriously. He was literally in an Austin Powers movie.
Are these like? I don't know. I just like didn't see these as critically acclaimed.
Yeah,
like he is like a peak actor.
Okay, no. Okay,
Interview with the Vampire. Was he good in that?
Have you seen that? That is a weird movie. Okay,
so this is what I was gonna say. This is what I was originally. I just was like reading that as I was pulling up his page to read stuff. But okay. If you didn't know, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, who are the stars in this movie, were married in real life when they were filming this movie. This was his second marriage. He's been married 3 times. First to somebody named Mimi Rogers, second to Nicole Kidman, and then third to Katie Holmes. Okay. They met on set in 1990 They got married in 1990, so it must have been pretty quick. They adopted 2 kids.
But not on set for Far and Away, right?
No, it was called Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
They adopted 2 children, and then they were divorced in 2001. So they were together for 11 years. She said that their marriage failed because at the time she was, quote, a child who needed to, quote, grow up. Now I need to know her age. So in 1990, when they got married, she was 23. How old was he?
I think he was like 28. I was looking up their ages earlier.
Oh, yeah, 28. Okay, so we all know Tom Cruise is a Scientologist, right?
Yeah.
And apparently, like, they, like, played a role in, like, his divorce to her. They were, like, really pushing for them to break up. They would, like...
The Scientologists?
Yes.
Just all of them?
He's best friends with, like, the head of the church.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know if it was, like, him. Like, he was, like, at their wedding. Yeah, not Nicole Kidman's wedding, but I think Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise's wedding, he was, like, a best man. Like, the leader of Scientology. So, I don't know who the church is. But
so wait.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, Tom Cruise, like, joined Scientology after. I just can't imagine these women marrying him knowing he's a Scientologist.
His first wife
This is
converted
crazy,
him.
and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
His
crazy.
first wife grew up as a Scientologist and was one of its, quote, auditors. I don't know what that is. Apparently, you know, we made jokes about studying Irish history. Apparently, I should have studied, like, Scientology history. But, yeah, they met when Cruise became one of her clients as this role of, like, an auditor, Scientologist auditor.
Wait. Cruise became one of her clients?
Yeah, and that's how they met. So it says that auditors ask structured questions intended to help a participant identify and address past experiences and emotional difficulties.
So he sought out the Scientologists.
Or they were seeking out him. I don't know, like, how they got into contact, but, like, they met because, like, yeah, she was, like, trying to recruit him, I think.
She was trying to recruit him.
Yeah.
And it worked?
It worked.
That's
hardcore
crazy.
Worked.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they were, like, it just says the church used means to push the couple to break up, including pressuring Cruise into more auditing. So, like, more of those sessions that would, like, kind of brainwash him, I guess.
Why do they call it auditing?
I don't know. And tapping Nicole Kidman's phone.
What the heck?
So, yeah. So then he dates Penelope Cruz after he divorces Nicole Kidman. And they weren't happy with that either. And so after he broke up with Penelope Cruz, the Scientologist leaders launched a secret project to find Cruz a new girlfriend. They held auditions.
What the...
Yeah, okay. So they held auditions. Then he begins dating Katie Holmes.
And they were okay with that.
Well, I think for a while she joined Scientology with him. So they were married in a Scientologist ceremony, whatever that means. But yes, there has been widespread speculation that their marriage was arranged by the Church of Scientology. The head of Scientology was his best man. But they did get divorced because Katie Holmes no longer wanted to be a part of Scientology and wanted to protect her daughter from it. I knew, like, you know, you hear, like, oh, John Travolta's Scientologist. Is he a Scientologist?
Yeah.
John Travolta. Tom Cruise. Like, you hear that, but I guess I just never realized, like, how involved in these celebrities' lives they were. Like, it's not like a church, like, you just join, like most people don't have any contact with, like, the head of a religious organization, you know? So when I heard that, like, he was the best man and is, like, arranging these relationships and is, like, so involved in, like, every detail of his life, that is just, like, crazy for me. But I think it was in 2008 that Tom Cruise, like, banned journalists or interviewers from asking him about Scientology. So now, like, he won't talk about it.
While we're on the topic, I Googled it.
What?
Okay, Scientology, a set of beliefs and practices framing humans as immortal spiritual beings trapped in the material world. It uses auditing, a counseling technique with an e-meter to clear traumatic memories, and is often deemed a controversial. So then it says, the services are not free. Members pay for auditing sessions and training, often costing tens of thousands of dollars. That's like a
Dang.
big red flag, I
How
think,
do I
when
become
it
an
comes to
auditor?
our religion.
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
It says Scientology is recognized as a religion in some countries, while in others it is treated as a commercial enterprise or a cult.
Yeah. Do they believe in aliens? I mean,
I
do
don't
we
know.
believe in aliens? I don't know. Like, in the sense of Scientology, no. This isn't an alien conversation.
The
but
church is. Cindy's like, let's not get into it. The church is frequently criticized for alleged brainwashing, high costs, and coercive tactics, which proponents strongly deny. Famous members, Tom Cruise and John Travolta.
I didn't have time to look up, like, Nicole Kidman's, like, was Nicole Kidman considered a Scientologist at one point? Like, did she leave because of that? Because Issa just showed me her celebrating divorce picture.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, how much of that was involved, too.
Well, I wonder,
But-
too, how much he, like, downplayed it. Like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it sounds like if the church was involved in their relationships, but, like, I wonder if when he, like, was dating,
Yeah.
or he, like, started dating Nicole Kidman, you know, like, because some people are like, oh, I'm Catholic, and they go to church once a year.
Yeah.
So maybe he was like, oh, I'm a Scientologist, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I like went. It says that she never was. It said that she was married to him. She did not adopt the religion during their marriage, and she identifies as Catholic. So I could understand, I guess, why then the Scientologist church was trying to get them to divorce. And maybe they
Yeah.
thought, like, she wasn't a good match for him. It's really quite crazy, the lore some celebrities have, and, like, how they're
Yeah.
all, like, tied together. It's just so fascinating. And I know they're real people, but it just doesn't even feel like real life. So that's I think most of what I wanted to say about him. He was just shocking me.
Well, all of that aside, I did like Tom Cruise in Far and Away.
Yeah.
Okay, should we give a brief plot synopsis?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'll take a stab at it. Sorry, guys,
Go
we
ahead.
really gave up on our plot synopses. We've not been coming prepared. Okay, so we start out in Ireland. Tom Cruise, he's like a poor farmer, and his dad dies, like right at the beginning. And this like little village that he's a part of has been like overtaken by the landed gentry. I don't know.
Yes. No, I literally made a note. Mr. Darcy? Question mark?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was in Ireland, but like, yeah.
And it's like 80, 90 years later. This is like the 1890s. But basically the upper class landlords have like taken over their land and are demanding all this rent. So Tom Cruise like goes on this journey, and he's like planning to kill the landlord, like this landowner. And he like hides out in the landlord's barn, and Nicole Kidman is the landlord's daughter, and she finds him in the barn, and she stabs him in the leg with a pitchfork, and we can come back to that scene later because I want to talk about it. So then he's like injured, but they like bring him inside, and they're trying to like patch him up so that he can like, because now they want to, well, no, sorry, let me back up. She stabs him in the leg, and he comes limping out of the barn and tries to shoot her dad, the landlord, but the gun, he doesn't shoot it right. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like half open, and I think
for.
it like backfired or
Yeah, backfired.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the word. Anyway, they take him inside, they patch him up because then they want to like probably try him for attempted murder or something. Meanwhile, Nicole Kidman, was she betrothed to, what's that guy's name with the mustache? Steven?
Yeah, I know that they talked about like marriage several times, but I couldn't tell if they were like actually engaged.
Maybe just courting each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steven is like the man intended for Nicole Kidman's character, whose name is, I forgot. Shannon. Basically every basic Irish name you could think of. Tom Cruise's character is named Joseph. So Steven is like, yeah, you know, he's got the hots for Shannon, and he's like her dad's business partner. Tom Cruise pisses Steven off, so then he challenges him to a duel, So they're like about to shoot at each other in this duel in the morning. And in the nick of time, Shannon comes by on a wagon and tells Joseph to come to America with her. She's like escaping. She's not like other girls, you know?
She's like, I'm modern. I'm
Yeah.
a modern woman.
Yeah, she's like, I'm very interesting and I'm very modern. So she wants to go to America, and she seems to have no regard for her parents. She's just running off. So they go on a boat to America, and then things immediately start going wrong for them. She didn't bring, I don't know why she didn't take money from her parents. She only took spoons. The spoons immediately get stolen from her. So yeah, she's like this spoiled rich girl, and her eyes are very quickly opened to the harsh world. So her and Joseph are sharing a room at this like boarding house, and they're working like these crappy jobs trying to save up money because their ultimate goal is to go to Oklahoma and make it there in time for this land rush, which is a real thing that happened. There was so much land when they opened up the West and people started, you know, moving west, that they were just giving away land for free. They go through a series of unfortunate events. Lots of bad things happen to them. Joseph starts boxing to make money. Things kind of go wrong there. Yeah. I couldn't believe how many bad things happened to them. Like, I forgot.
know.
It was really one
He
thing
gets
after another.
He loses a really, really big fight, and so then the prize fighting bar owner, whatever, takes all of his money and kicks him out and doesn't let him stay there. And then they break into a house, and then those people come home and shoot Shannon in the back.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, it was not going well.
Okay, so Shannon gets shot in the back. Meanwhile, back in Ireland, the angry townspeople burn down Shannon's parents' house because they hate the
Death
landlord.
to the landlords, they say.
So Stephen and Shannon's parents, they're like, well, I guess we'll go to America too, and we'll like find Shannon. So by the time Shannon gets shot in the back, her parents are there. They're in Boston, I think, and Stephen is there with them. And I don't know if I wasn't paying close enough attention. Somehow Joseph finds her parents' house in Boston and is able to deliver Shannon, and they're able to like help her after she got shot. But I wasn't really sure how he knew that they were in Boston and where they lived.
They said, well, because like he shows up, remember the Steven, and the police stop Tom Cruise's character and is like, have you seen this girl? Have you seen her? And he's like, no. And they're like, she's in her family's looking for her. They're in Jefferson or something. Like I think they give like a specific place.
No. I do remember that part, and I was confused, but I was too lazy to rewind it. So Steven didn't recognize him?
He never like turned around. He was trying to like hide his face. So like Steven walks up behind him, but Tom Cruise is looking forward and then like runs off.
Okay.
He's trying to hide.
Well, either way, he drops Shannon off at her parents' house, and she survives her gunshot wound, and they go their separate ways. Flash forward 8 months later, they've both made it to Oklahoma separately. And Stephen and Shannon and Joseph, they're all participating in this land rush. And also, let me back up. See, this is what happens when you wing it. They do kiss. Really good, though. They do kiss at one point. Like throughout the whole movie, Shannon and Joseph
confess their love.
Yeah. They're like not enemies to lovers. See, I have to put this in 2026 language. They're not enemies to lovers, but they do butt heads a bit. But then they fall in love. So yeah, they're racing for their land, and Steven, who's just a loser, what happens? He like lots of things happen right at the end.
Yeah, and he doesn't
shoot him. Does he?
No, I think maybe he like fell and knocked his head on the
No, but I thought before that happened, Steven was like about to shoot him.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of fast forwarded during the rush part. It was like, I swear, like 10 minutes of just like people running after the land.
No, that's something I want to talk about.
It was like so long, and I'm trying to get to the end, and I'm like, okay, they've been running for a long time. So I like started to fast forward through just like the running around part, but then when I hit play, he was like on the ground, and I was too lazy to rewind it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So what happened? I just figured they had some sort of a spat.
I can't remember exactly. Yeah, I think basically Steven's being a jerk. They're like fighting over the same piece of land, and Shannon is like, go ahead, Joseph, take it. And then somehow Joseph falls off his horse, and the horse literally falls over on top of him. So he's like crushed by a horse and hits his head on a rock. And at this point, Stephen has just like left, and he's like, fine, like you guys be together.
But why did Stephen like throw the flag down? Like, why did he let them have the flag? He was like, fine.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, well,
meanwhile, her parents cheated and snuck out and like claimed a piece of land. So maybe he was like, fine, I'll just go live with your parents.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, so you think he's dead for a second, and then he's not dead, and they kiss, and they live happily ever after.
They had a really nice like spirit floating away and re-entering his body moment.
Did I miss
anything? Yeah, you missed. I mean, no, you got all the major details. So, yeah, you nailed it.
Okay, well, since you already touched on this, the movie was long.
Yeah.
I like this movie. Spoiler alert, I do like it, but it was longer than I remembered, and I definitely think some things could have been shaved down.
Yeah, I remember thinking, okay, this is getting really interesting at about like 1 hour and 15 minutes, but there was still like an hour and 15 minutes left. So like, I still enjoyed like a big chunk of the movie. Like that could have almost been a whole nother movie, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I do feel like there were some slower parts that weren't.
Well, and the plot is kind of all over the place. Like I saw a Letterboxd review that said like this was like 3 different movies. Like there were 3 different genres of movie in this one movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like they start out in Ireland, and then they're in Boston, and then they're in Oklahoma. And so I think like all of that also makes it feel long.
Yeah.
He's a farmer, then he's a boxer, then he's working at a factory, then he's a miner. Like so much happens.
I really thought like when he's having that big fight that he loses everything at, and she's like, this is it, like you'll get your money and we'll go. I was like, oh cool, like we're at that point of the movie.
You thought that was like the climax.
And then he lost, and there was still so much craziness that happened after. But yeah, you're right. I think that all the different locations do make it feel really long because they're going through a lot.
Yeah. No, they get put through the ringer, which I mean, that's probably what it would be hard to come to America.
Yeah.
With like literally nothing.
I did think that the lighting and the cinematography was very pretty. And even though we were just talking about this in our last episode, I was like, I don't really care about the lighting. I don't really care about that. Like, as long as it's a good story. But like watching this, it made me realize, no, I think I do actually care about that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there were some like really pretty scenes, especially like at the beginning of the movie in Ireland. And I just liked how like real everything felt. The locations and the lighting. It was all, I don't know, like something about it. Like it was beautiful, but not overproduced. And the more movies I watch like this, the more I'm like, well, okay, yeah. I kind of understand this whole like lighting beef that people have with a lot of the new movies, because I do think that it kind of helped make up for like the slower parts where I wasn't as like locked in. I was still like, wow, this looks really nice, you know? And it like kind of helped balance that. But yeah. So I guess I do care about lighting.
It's funny that you say that, and this kind of goes back to whether or not Tom Cruise is a serious actor or not. Because we were talking about at the beginning of the episode that this movie actually does have pretty bad reviews. This quote from Roger Ebert says, "Far and Away is a movie that joins astonishing visual splendor with a story so simple-minded it seems intended for adolescents. It's depressing that such a lavish and expensive production starring an important actor like Tom Cruise could be devoted to such a shallow story."
I read that same review, and I was actually going to bring it up at some point in the episode. So what do you think about that?
On it? Well, I was trying to decide, like, I was thinking about the shallow story part, and the quote was from a man, right?
Yeah.
And I get like it's very surface level as far as like the social issues it like grazes upon, like with the class issues in Ireland and stuff like that. Like I get that it's like surface level, but when a man is like calling it like a movie with romance, A Shallow Story, I was like,
Yeah.
well, I was trying to decide if I thought that was valid or not. Like, I don't think it's like shallow
is-
seems a bit harsh.
Is it a shallow story because it doesn't like dive on these deeper social issues or whatever, or was that not the story that the director writer was trying to tell? Were they trying to tell a love story?
Yeah.
Because honestly, when you think about like the plot, okay, because like when you look at the genre of this movie, they're like, oh, some people call it a Western, some people call it an adventure, whatever, Western adventure, blah, 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 blah. And for some reason, people like don't want to like strongly label it a romance. But honestly, watching it, I was like, there's not a whole lot happening other than the romance. I mean, like, yes, like they're trying to find land, but like that can't possibly be a plot of a movie. Well, I'm trying to go find a piece of land, you know? Like,
Really? I think it can.
well, I don't know. It felt a little bit like it's just like a big journey. I mean, I don't know.
A journey. Sydney's saying a journey can't be a plot, you guys. A journey is like 99% of all plots.
I just don't like most journey type stories. Like, that's my complaint about like the Lord of the Rings movies.
You don't
I'm
love
like,
a journey?
you guys are just wandering around. I feel like if the journey was the story, there would be more of those deeper issues addressed, you know? Like, if you take out the romance and it's just him like trying to get this guy, kill the landlord, goes to America, becomes a prize fighter, loses his money, goes on the train, ends up in Oklahoma, runs and gets his land, I would just be super bored, honestly. But the romance is like what makes it fun to watch for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, to play devil's advocate, which I don't know why I'm playing devil's advocate because this is a romance podcast, but to play devil's advocate, like, I mean, everything you just outlined, like the American dream and like there's a lot to work with there that most people wouldn't be bored by. But yes, I get what you're saying.
Maybe I'm saying specific to this movie because like most of the dialogue he has is with her. And so like to picture this movie without her in it or without the romantic storyline, I guess like if they were just these bantering buddies, that would be fine. I think I would be equally as entertained if they never like ended up as a couple. But if she was gone and it was just like his story, I guess it's hard for me to imagine because he never really like had a conversation with anyone other than her. So like what kind of conversations would he have had? What, you know, who else would he have talked to really like make that into like a compelling story? For this one, it's different. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's why I don't watch like stuff like that. I don't know. I guess like if that was the story, I could understand why this guy would say it's shallow. But if romance was the story, like that these two people could like come together and work together to fulfill their dream and also fall in love and all that, then it doesn't feel so shallow. You know, there is something more being told. I don't know.
I think I'm following.
He says, trying to say that romance isn't important. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it is important. But yeah, Sydney thinks your life is meaningless if you don't have romantic love.
No comment. No. I'm kidding. No, but I've actually been thinking about that a lot. Not that this is like super related, but I've been thinking because I'm like, I hate working. And I'm like, I cannot get on board with it. Like, we can't possibly think that the point of living is to work, right? And so, like, I do think, not romantic love, but I do think relationships, like, I feel like is a huge part of life. And so I do enjoy a story. Like, and I guess that's why, like, a lot of people really love, like, Lord of the Rings, what I brought up with, because it is, like, this journey story. And while some people might find the journeying boring, it's not a romantic love being told, but like you do see these bonds and these friendships and like how this whole team like comes together. And so like I'm not drawn to strictly like romantic relationship stories, but I do love stories about friendship, family relationships, romantic relationships. I mean, like, I love Remember the Titans, and that is like a boy movie, but like it's because it feels like they become a team.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I do love just any kind of love story. even if it's not romantic love.
Okay, so tell me your ratings for Far and Away.
Okay, Kiss, maybe like a 3.5. It was kind of dark, and
The kiss in the house they broke into?
yeah,
Okay.
I was overanalyzing it a little bit too much. There's like a part where he's like, her hair is like gorgeous, but it's very like big and curly and fluffy, and he's like, there's one part like they kiss. And I can't tell if like instinctually he was trying to like tuck it behind her ear, but it's like it's too much and it's too curly, and he just kind of like pushes it
Palms
away
it,
from.
yeah. I actually know exactly what you're talking about.
It was kind of like took me out of the moment. Chemistry.
Wait, pause, time out.
Okay.
Sydney you're really good about rating the first kiss. I'm always thinking about like the most
later
important
kisses?
kiss.
Like the end kiss?
Yeah. Because in my mind, that was a better kiss than their first kiss.
No, it was. That was. I'd say like a 4. I love
Like
a
right
good,
after
like,
he comes back to life.
Yeah. A good reunion kiss is always. Yeah. It's funny because like their romantic chemistry, like I know they were married in real life and people were like, oh yeah, this like added to their great chemistry. But like I liked their like fighting banter chemistry much more than like their romantic chemistry, if that makes sense. Maybe okay, you know what? I'll give it a 4 purely based off the scene where they're yelling at each other. I can't remember what they're fighting about, but he's like, stop it, Shannon, stop it. And she's like still pushing him. And he's like, I told you to stop. And he grabs her and he walks her into the bath and he like throws her in the bath. And he's like, tell me you like my hat.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was like cute that he's like, come on, like,
Yeah.
tell me you like me.
Yeah, that's a good
I've
part.
earned this money and yeah, so okay, I'll give him maybe a 4. What do we do? Kiss, chemistry, longevity. Yeah, they're gonna be together. And then
Your overall rating. I'm scared.
like a 3.
3? Dang it.
What do you rate it?
I don't want to tell you now.
A 5?
No. I gave
A
it
4?
Listen, I took half a point off because it was too long.
Okay.
But I gave it a 4.5.
Oh my, this is a near perfect movie for you?
Yeah, I really like it. I forgot how funny it was. I thought it was really funny.
Maybe it's just Tom Cruise.
And I like a journey and an adventure.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was just the length of it that, because like, I really don't.
But
okay,
also,
name
I've
another
seen
really
it before. Like, I have nostalgia working against me or for me. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I'm just trying to rack my brain for another journey type story to see if I don't like them or if it's just I haven't seen enough or
what is a good journey? I'm like looking at the books on my shelves. I don't think you read or watch a lot of journey type stuff.
Well, and I'm wondering if like, okay, the problem with even Lord of the Rings like that I brought up is that those movies are really long. So I don't know if it's like the journey as a whole or if it truly is just like the length of it that I'm kind of like, okay, like this is dragging a little bit. Like I was saying, like with the ending scene, it really was quite long.
It's funny that you were bored by that part though, because the whole time I was just thinking how crazy it was that they filmed that. I'm gonna expose myself here.
Okay.
Because I was like so mind blown, and they don't. I know this is like an annoying thing to say, but they genuinely don't make movies like that anymore. You know, they're like, oh, they don't make them like they used to. But literally, this is embarrassing, but I was like, is this CGI? And like Ryan and my sister started laughing at me and they're like, you're so dumb. No, like they really filmed this. But it's so crazy that they filmed that land race.
Okay, no, yeah, I actually read a trivia about that. And it involved 800 extras, 400 horses, 200 wagons, and this I just thought was funny. The extras were all recruited from a reenactment society called the Reenactors. I was like, wow, what a creative what a creative name. But yeah, like, no, that is crazy.
And I read that... Wait, sorry, while we were on the topic. I read that 4 people broke bones and 1 horse died.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, like, I was a little bit shook when he punched his horse in the face. I know that he probably didn't actually punch the horse. I mean, I hope he didn't. Who knows, honestly, with older movies, they were just doing whatever they wanted to animals. But, no, okay. I know what you're saying. And I actually... Okay, if I'm basing just off my personal preference, and part of like what I rate, because this is like a romance podcast, some of my score goes into like how much did I enjoy this romance? Like,
yeah.
You know? But I understand what you're saying. And if I was thinking of this more as like a critical film analysis and like what it did well versus like a lot of other movies, and especially what you were just saying about like movies that we get today, like you're right. I think that it was like a technically good film. I was trying to like find this balance of like, well, what do I score it if like I like these elements, but was like not super like, oh my gosh, I love this romance. I'm rooting for, like I don't know. There's too many factors that come into my brain that make scoring just really hard because
Yeah.
I think more literally of like I'm rating like the love story versus
Yeah.
like the movie as a whole, which maybe I should be rating less about the love
Well-
story and more the movie, but
Well, maybe for purposes of our podcast, I need to be thinking more about the romance.
I guess like if you are viewing just the love story, like what would you so if that's like your overall movie score, what would you rate like the
Romance.
quality of the romance? Did you still really love
Well,
it or
It's not, I don't think it's like a sweeping, like dramatic romance,
Mhm.
but I think it does a lot of things well that a lot of romance books and movies we consume today, or, that come out today, fail at. Like the banter, people are always like, banter, banter, banter. I think that
Yeah.
this movie had actual good banter between
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. And I
Yeah.
think the pacing of the romance was good. Like the way they gradually went from like butting heads to admitting their feelings
Seeking
for each
that, yeah.
other. So, I mean, it's not like I wasn't like giddy over the romance, but I think I was like satisfied with it.
I agree.
So maybe like a 3.5 or a 4.
It was funny the scene where I think it was the same scene that I said before actually, where he threw her in the tub and then she kicks him out and the lady says,
Oh yeah.
You should what did she say?
I can't remember what word she used.
I'm like, I know that she didn't say like
Shag?
yeah.
Did she say
Whatever
shag?
it was, basically was like, you guys need to just hook up and get it over with. And he was like, she's my sister. Because they're pretending to be siblings.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I'm your mother. And all these
Yeah.
ladies are laughing at him. Like, I thought that was funny.
No,
But
that was
yeah.
funny.
I agree. The pacing was really well done. That like the tension's building and building. And yeah. It was cute.
It didn't feel like sometimes in romance books and movies feels like they go from 0 to 100 and all of a sudden they're in love with each other and you're like, wait, how did that happen? But I feel like we were able to really like watch it happen, and they went through so much together that it was believable that they like grew together.
By that point. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So what do you rate the kiss, chemistry, all of that?
Chemistry 4. The kiss, if I'm doing the kiss at the end, yeah, like a 4. The first kiss was maybe like a 3. And longevity, I agree that they'll live happily ever after.
I guess, what did you rate Crazy Stupid Love? 3?
Like a 3.
Yeah.
I might have given it a 3.5. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, well, now that I'm thinking about this, I realized like I actually did the opposite with that movie. Because I rated it so highly because I'm like, oh, I love this movie. It makes me laugh so much. And I kind of disregarded the love story and just rated it because like, well, it's super funny. Like, it's a good comedy, regardless of like the weird love stories happening,
Yeah.
And I realized like, well, yeah, then I should probably have thought about this one differently. So I guess I switch back and forth depending on when it benefits my nostalgic movies.
Wait, what did you give this one?
Loves...
Did you say you gave this
I
one a
said
3?
a 3.
So what happens if I give, because 3.5 is what it has to be to get our stamp?
I think as long as one of us gives it the stamp,
okay, it averages
it can get
out.
the stamp. Yeah,
okay.
like, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry it was only... well, no, we always say a 3 is actually not that bad.
I really, really think that it was just the length.
No, that's okay. It's okay if you gave it a 3 and I gave it a 4.5.
But a 3 isn't bad.
Yeah.
It sounds bad,
But it's really not.
I gave People We Meet on Vacation a 3.5.
Yeah. And if you can take away anything from this conversation that we just had, it's that our ratings are pretty arbitrary.
Yeah, like guys,
And that's
yeah,
our
it means
right.
nothing.
That's our right to give arbitrary ratings.
What were you gonna say about the pitchfork scene?
I just think that's a really funny part. She like stabs him with the pitchfork and then she runs he didn't do anything to her. I mean, I certainly would be scared if I found a man in my
He was
barn.
hiding in the barn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like he didn't do anything. He didn't lay a finger on her. And she ran out of the barn going, "I've been all but raped and murdered."
yeah. He's
I
just like
thought
limping out, stabbed.
I thought she was really funny in the whole movie.
Yeah, when she's
Like,
like
when she-
flailing, my spoons! He stole my
Yeah.
spoons!
And we already talked about when she was like, "I'm very modern."
Yeah,
But then also when they're like working at some factory or something, she's like plucking feathers off of chickens and she insults the foreman.
yeah.
And he's like, "That's I'm taking a day's pay for that." And he's like, "If you say anything else, I'll take tomorrow's too." And she goes, "Pig." And then she insults him a third time and says, "Take Fridays."
Yeah.
Yeah, she was funny.
Yeah, she was funny. The men, I was like, oh, she's cute and funny. The men, I was like, you guys are so dumb. I think I actually wrote that in my note. Like, I think it started with the duel. The duel, they're like, I just think duels are stupid and there's just such a man thing to do. No offense to any men listening to this, but like, did females duel? I don't know, maybe. But
I don't think so.
it's just like, it made me think of like Alexander Hamilton, right? Like his son dies, why? Because some dude insulted his dad. Like it's just so dumb. So these guys are dueling and they do their rotation and they turn and Tom Cruise is like, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, I can see you. And they're just like fumbling around in the fog, trying to do this duel. And it's just so silly. But I did like her.
Yeah.
And at first I wrote in my notes, oh man, what it could have been like to be given free land. And then I wrote that at the very beginning when she's like, look, they're giving away free land. As the movie progressed, I was like, never mind. I do not want to. I'll take paying my rent and owning nothing over what you guys had to.
I know. I was thinking about
endure.
that too. I was like, they got this land, now what? They have to build
Yeah.
build a house from scratch.
No money, no resources. What jobs are out there? Nothing's there.
Yeah. I read that so the director is Ron Howard and he directed I took a screenshot. I like recognized his name, but I couldn't off the top of my head tell you what else he directed. Okay, this is crazy. He directed
really
Willow.
famous.
Have you seen Willow?
Yeah.
And he directed he directed some famous movies, okay, but these are the ones that I'm familiar with. How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I did
not know that. But I guess his grandpa really did participate in the Oklahoma land rush.
Yeah. Did you read who his daughter was? Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, really?
Victoria, number 2. Yeah. So some people like really criticize her for that actually because there's rumors that Rochelle Laverne or whatever, I don't know if that's her name. Sometimes like I see the letters vaguely in my brain and I just like make up names. I do know that her first name's Rochelle. But she played Victoria in the first 2 movies, right? She was in New Moon. And there was rumors that Bryce Dallas Howard was like offered the part or like auditioned originally but like didn't want it. But then once the movies like gained popularity and Victoria was like having this leading role that she like called her daddy and like got him to like pull some strings and give her the role. I don't know if that's true, but that's what
That's crazy.
She's been accused of being a nepo baby and
I assumed that the first Victoria was unavailable for Eclipse or something.
Well, that's what like she says, but I don't know if people are just trying to stir the pot or if she's trying to I don't know. I mean, nothing that she could have been doing would have been more important, I feel like, than filming Eclipse. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you go and take some random... You were about to be the main character in this movie.
That's true.
And you've already been in 2 of them. So, I mean, she did say that she had a scheduling conflict, but it just... I don't we've never seen her since. So, what was this important scheduling conflict that made you give up the main character in, one of the biggest franchises in the world?
Yeah. No, that's really crazy.
Yeah.
But
I still like Bryce Dallas Howard. She's not the better Victoria, but I like her. I liked her in Jurassic World or whatever.
Yeah, she's cute. Also sorry, I'm having a hard time finding the right words tonight. The soundtrack guy, whatever you would call him,
Yeah.
is John Williams. Do you know
Oh,
who that
yeah.
is?
It's called a composer.
Yeah, maybe that's the word I was looking for. If you don't know who John Williams is, he wrote the Jaws theme and the Star Wars theme.
You know the Razzies? Have you heard
Uh-huh.
of the Razzies? They're
Yeah.
like, I mean, how would you describe them? Like parody awards? Like they're
Yeah.
making fun of award shows and like awarding
They're like insulting
worst.
awards. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it said I needed to like listen to what song this actually was, but one of the songs was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Original Song.
Oh yeah, I saw
It's
that
called
as
Book
well.
of Days, but I didn't look it up. But now that I'm seeing that it's John Williams, I'm kind of surprised because he's John Williams.
Well, yeah, like even like it's cool that John Williams did the score for Far and Away, but like I can't hear any of the songs in my head, so
Yeah, I can't either.
so they're not like memorable like Jaws or Star Wars, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, my last fun fact is that Nicole Kidman is 5'11". That's crazy.
Oh, for reals?
Yeah.
Isn't Tom Cruise like 5'6"?
See, every time you question me, I start to doubt myself, but I swear her Wikipedia page said 5'11". How tall is Nicole Kidman? 5'11". How tall?
No, yeah. No, he is 5'6". Okay, you need to see this picture. Yes, he is like inches shorter than her in every picture of them together.
So how did they make him not look that short in the movie? They did some movie magic.
Okay, we're gonna need to like make this a reel and
He's
show
only
some pictures.
5'7"?
He is so small next to her. Just Google Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise and see how tiny he looks.
Oh my gosh. See, we were talking about age gap relationships.
You're not progressive when it comes to height different relationships.
Yeah, the man is shorter than the woman.
Okay, well that's interesting because I was like, well, how tall is Keith Urban? Because he gives me short dude energy and he's 5'10", which is still kind of short, I guess, or like average for a man, but she's even taller than him.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, she's quite a bit taller than him.
And she's not embarrassed to wear her heels and be taller because when I searched Keith Urban height, every picture of her next to him, she's wearing heels and still inches taller than him. So,
well, good for her.
Yeah.
I do like Nicole Kidman.
I do too. Just like watching this with it being, you know, some of their early films, it did make me a little bit like they just look so much like themselves, you know? And I feel like current day, like even Tom Cruise, I see pictures of Tom Cruise and I'm like, something looks different, you know? I just wish that we could just see people become normal, just age normally and just like be themselves because they're so cute, you know? They don't need to try to play this anti-aging game.
All right. Well, any final thoughts?
Oh, he called her a corker.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what in the world? He's like, you are a corker. It was like it was a compliment. So I did look it up. It means an excellent or astonishing person, which is like, I really like the word astonishing. So like, that sounds like a really nice compliment, but I don't know. If somebody called me a corker, it doesn't
sound very nice.
No.
But isn't there like a
knew,
song that's like, my gal's a corker, she's a New Yorker?
Oh, that's funny. I've never heard that song, but I believe you. I really believe you because I don't think on the spot you just made up those lyrics. Was it Irish?
I don't know. I just feel like I've heard my mom sing that before.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's all I was going to add. Funny Irish words. I guess it's become kind of a cult classic in Ireland, this movie, because their accents were like so bad.
Yeah. I was looking at Letterboxd reviews and everyone was trolling Tom Cruise's accent, which was interesting. No one was really saying anything about Nicole Kidman's accent. And then everyone was mentioning the scene where she lifts up the bowl to look at him.
Yeah. Did you read that like it wasn't like that the director wasn't getting like the reaction that he wanted? Did you read about that? Yeah, like he wasn't getting like the facial reaction that he wanted. And so I guess like originally Tom Cruise was like wearing underwear, but I guess because they were married in real life, they felt like it was okay to do this, but they like surprised her by like actually having him take off his underwear. And so like she was like genuinely like surprised to see it.
That's funny. I didn't read that.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a fun movie.
We
I
got a fun rating from Sydney.
would be more selective about who I'd recommend it to, but I would still recommend it if I knew this person well enough that, like, they liked, do you know what I mean? Like, there's some movies I'd
that's fair.
recommend, like, regardless of, like, if I know you like this genre or not, I'm like, you need to watch this. I feel like this one might be a little bit more personalized, but I would recommend it still.
All right. Well, I'm starting to yawn a lot, and we're starting to have
Yeah.
some long pauses here. Next week, we will be discussing. What will we be discussing? Is next week Hannah Montana? March
Yeah.
is just flying by.
Hannah Montana and The Last Song.
Oh,
I've actually been seeing a lot of content about the reunion and some people's like throwback stuff, and I wasn't really excited when I picked it. If I'm being honest, all our listeners, I picked it because of the anniversary, and we're trying to be like somewhat relevant to what people are talking about. And I was like, yeah, like it should be fun, but I'm actually kind of excited now. I didn't grow up watching Hannah Montana though, so I don't feel
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, I didn't have the Disney Channel.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I do remember watching the movie. I did watch it. And I started to rewatch the show with Kennedy last year. And, like, it's fun. I'm not a little girl anymore. So, of course, you know, it's got a lot of Disney laugh tracks and stuff like that. But I am excited to watch it. So, I forgot that The Climb, like, originated in this movie.
No, I actually always get confused about, like, I always associate The Climb with The Last Song, but what's the song from The Last Song? Because it's also
called When I Look at You.
Oh, yeah, and that's a really good one, too.
I sang
But
that
do
in a
you see
talent
how
show.
I could kind of get those ones mixed up?
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, I know I'm not going to sing. It's really high, but yes, like there's a part of the choruses. Well, one, they came out like back to back, those two
Yeah.
movies. And yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The Hannah Montana movie came out in 2009, and The Last Song came out in 2010. So, yeah. All right. Well, that will be next week. It's already the last Friday of March, so we will be posting our April schedule soon. And then, well, actually, I think our book episode comes out before the Hannah Montana episode.
No, because
Oh,
the
no, it
month
doesn't.
is
Yeah,
extra
sorry.
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be on the 3rd.
Okay, so Hannah Montana, March 27th, and then Vision in White by Nora Roberts, March 30th.
And stay tuned for April. And like, if you have any more recommendations or like you want us to watch something specific, let us know. Like, we're more than happy to take some requests, and we want to hear what you want to hear about.
I will say, I think one of the only things we have planned for April so far is Love Story, the Hulu series about JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. So we probably should post about that because it's a series, and I think we're gonna be talking about it like the first week of April. So you guys should start watching it. We haven't.
The episodes are still coming out.
Yeah.
Or maybe like I think it ends the last week of March. I said that I would start it weeks ago so that I only needed to watch one episode a week. And then I never did. So
I think it works out better anyway when we just binge it right before. Because then we don't
everything's
have to try
fresh
to remember everything.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to watch along with us, that's one that you should plan ahead of time because it's a series.
All right. Well, I'm excited for that one. And we like never say this in any of our intros or outros, but I'm going to start saying it. If you guys enjoy our podcast, don't forget to follow us. I never know what language to use because we're posting this on a couple different platforms, but follow us, subscribe to us, leave us a comment, leave a review, or like rate us. Any of it, we would love and appreciate.
Yeah, please give us a rating, preferably a good rating, but I think even bad ones actually help us out.
Yeah.
And even your hate comments will take the engagement. On a positive note, it always blows my mind, even if I just get one comment on like my Wuthering Heights series or my Romeo and Juliet series, like some random person commented and was like, I can't wait for you to get to the 1996 version.
I saw that.
And I'm like, oh, really? You can't wait? Like,
yeah.
You care
Several
about
people have said they can't wait till you do Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you guys care about my opinion?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, we've got some cute new fans. So if you're listening and you are a new fan and you've been seeing, some of our videos and been positively uplifting us, Thank you and welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I've decided I want to use the slogan, like, you're invited to the sleepover. You know, like how they joke, like, oh, like, they're invited to the cookout or they're invited to the barbecue. Like, I feel like we can say, like, yes, you're invited to the sleepover. And if you're not being respectful to us, I'm going to be like, look, this isn't for you. You're not invited to this sleepover. Like, this is a inside bestie chat vibe of our, like, innermost thoughts sometimes. Like,
It's
we
like
were
when you
crying
got
over
in-
our trauma.
That was only one time.
Yeah, one time.
It's like when you got invited to a birthday party, but only like a select few got invited to the secret sleepover that happened after the birthday party.
No, that's so true. It's like, don't tell them.
Yeah.
You had to, like, pretend that you were leaving too.
That's actually crazy that people used to do that. Do you think it was just a ploy to get more presents? Because now, like, as an adult, I would not bother inviting the people that I didn't also want to have spend the night.
Well, like, I wasn't allowed to have that many people sleep over. So, like, I wanted all my friends to be at my birthday party, but my mom would
Okay.
only let me, like, have 2 people stay.
That makes sense. See, I never had one of those birthday parties, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I did go to one that, like, everybody was allowed to sleep over, and looking back, I'm like, that was kind of crazy. There was, like, 11 of us, like, in sleeping bags on our basement floor. And I could understand why parents are like, no, we're not having this whole party sleepover. Especially when you're, like, 14-year-old girls, you know?
No, that is a lot.
No, but that's a good comparison. But, yeah. So,
All
you should
right.
be honored. You're
You
welcome.
should be honored to be listening to our free podcast that we publicize everywhere.
Where we're
And
just,
are begging
like, reading
people to listen to.
Wikipedia while I'm reading Wikipedia about Tom Cruise's Scientology history.
We need to stop telling people that we're going on Wikipedia because then they might just go look it up on Wikipedia and then they might not listen. They'll be like, well, I don't need to listen to the episode anymore.
No, there have been, like, I've actually seen, like, posts on TikTok that's like 10 fun facts about this movie. Like, I saw one about a movie that we reviewed, and I had
see where
looked
this
at
is
the
going.
trivia. I literally looked at the trivia on IMDb beforehand, and then I, like, saw the post, and I'm, like, scrolling. They literally just copied and pasted it, and it had, like, 10,000 likes. They just copied and pasted every single trivia onto,
Okay,
like,
so we
a
need to start
slideshow.
doing that.
No, we do. But yeah, don't go to IMDb. Come to us.
Yeah, we go to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will see you guys next Friday for a Miley Cyrus / Hannah Montana 20th whatever is going on.
Yes.
20th anniversary of Hannah Montana?
Yeah, I
Is that
actually
what it
don't know.
is?
Like, is it the first episode? Is it the finale? I'm not really
Is it
sure.
the movie? Find out next week on Call Me When They Kiss. Bye.
Okay, we're actually ending. Bye.